Pass Around the Smile is like your go-to friend, the one that lifts you up and backs you till the end. She's there to guide and inspire, challenge and teach, and remind you that your best self isn't out of reach. Self-development, manifestation, self-love and more, it's time to trust the process more than ever before. Welcome to Pass Around the Smile, the podcast. I'm your host, Cleo Massey, and I am so glad you're here. Let the magic begin. I know how frustrating it can be when you are just wanting to get to the topic and when your podcast host is waffling on about other things. So I wanted to let you know, if you want to jump straight to the jealousy and judgment topic, go to 16 minutes 20 and it's all from there. But what you will find before that is a really exciting manifestation challenge that I am doing with my community, as well as a discount code for my podcast listeners and my community members only. So that's what you'll find beforehand. Hello and welcome back to another Pass Around the Smile podcast. I am really excited to be in the studio today because I'm having kind of like a full day doing Pass Around the Smile stuff today, which lately for me, that doesn't happen often, but Luke is on school holidays. He's watching the baby and the dog. And this little studio that I record in is my dad's studio, and mum and dad are also at work. And it's like I am so alone, but it's great. I'm like alone to be creative and free, and I have the whole day to just do what I want to do. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Have I called Luke at least 3 times today to check in on Indigo and Crumpet and him? Yes. Have I watched millions of videos on my phone because Indy has started smiling recently? Yes. Have I also watched a few more because she's also started giggling and I actually can't deal when she giggles? Yes. But I'm here and I'm doing a podcast, and today's podcast is in response to a post I got in my Pass Around the Smile community. If you're not a member, link is in the show notes below. Join. It is such a supportive and beautiful community that makes myself and others feel really inspired and excited and heard, which I think is really amazing. It's something I'm really proud of. But the post in the group said this from an anonymous community member. Any advice, tips, journal prompts, or podcasts to stop judging people? I want to be kinder and more compassionate, but I feel like I'm always going back to judging people and complaining about them. It's making me feel bad and lots of guilt. As Pass Around the Smile episodes are, they're honest and they're real and they're vulnerable. This episode will be just that. I'm not just going to scratch the surface with this topic. I am going to go deep. I have kind of thought about ways that we can combat jealousy and judgment while being realistic, because we are humans. We do judge. We do get jealous of other people. It's normal. It's natural. But there are ways that we can combat it and we can look at it differently. And I've done up a bunch of notes and I'm kind of going to talk through them with you. And I think it's going to be a really exciting and motivating episode. And I hope that this episode in particular helps you to feel a little bit free within yourself, because like I said, we have all judged. We all feel jealous, whether it's something that you're dealing with now that you dealt with a lot in the past, or something that might come up more in the future. It can be really dependent, regarding what you are going through as well, or how you are feeling. But I really hope this episode can, have you feeling really light and heard and supported, because we all do it. Let's face it. Let's be real. But we can do better. We can absolutely do better. So a few things before we get into the episode. First of all, I want to challenge you to join a manifestation challenge with me. Starting on the 1st of July, I believe this episode is coming out on, a couple of days before the 1st of July, but this gives you a couple of days to listen to it. And if you are listening late and it's past the 1st of July, just start on any date and do it for 30 days. So I will be posting in my Facebook community as well as in my Instagram broadcast channel, which I've just created. Anyone can join the broadcast channel. Just click on it in my little bio on Instagram. I will be kind of keeping you guys accountable, sharing things that I'm doing. I won't be checking in every day because I don't want to annoy you, but I think it's something that we all could do together, lift each other up, support each other, tap into that communal, exciting energy and manifest together. I know you guys loved when we did the 30-day gratitude challenge. There were so many people that were having big realizations and feeling so much better and letting things go. And we were all kind of talking about it and going through the motions together, which I thought was really cool. So this is another challenge, but it's different to the gratitude challenge. So what this challenge is it's not a direct, really obvious manifestation challenge, which you may expect. It's a little bit different, which I think is exciting because it's quite easy in the sense of manifestation. It's easy because we aren't with this challenge, like we're not directly manifesting. We are doing something else, and the result of the something else that we are going to be doing is going to help you manifest without even trying to manifest, if that makes sense. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be raising our vibrations and honoring ourselves, lifting up our self-worth. So what is the challenge? I should just get into it. So every day for 30 days, I want you to do 3 things for you that make you feel really good. It might sound so simple, but days get away from us and we can get stuck in that rat race, and we get to the end of the day and we're like, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't fill my cup, etc. Some people will find this challenge harder than others. I completely acknowledge that, but we can all find moments in every day where we can do 3 things that make us feel good. They can be big, they can be small, they can be in between. So I'll give you some examples. It can be things like I actually took my half-an-hour lunch break at work today and I went and sat in the sun. It could be something like I took an extra 5 minutes in the bathroom while the kids were screaming. It could be I chose to read my book for half an hour, extra today, even though I had cleaning to do because I was loving the reading. It could be something like I, took 5 minutes out to do a meditation, or I did some journaling. It can be I treated myself to a really nourishing meal, even though it was, $10 more than I wanted to spend. So it can be anything that makes you feel good. And I don't want you to think it has to be only things that are like healthy or good for your body or good for your mind, like healthy eating or exercise or, self-development things like journaling or meditating. It doesn't just have to be those things. Those things are great and they fill us up and make us feel amazing, and they will definitely be counted in your 3 things. But sometimes you feel like a cookie, for example, and you treat yourself to your favorite cookie from Paddock Bakery. In my case, I'm going to do that this weekend, and that's probably going to be on one of my 3 things. It could be something like I allowed myself guilt-free to watch the Kardashians for, an hour, because maybe you just need to space out and not think and watch something like the Kardashians that's quite mind-numbing. It can be things like that as well, as long as it is making you feel good and not guilty. Because let's say I might go to Paddock Bakery and buy 6 cookies and eat them over the whole weekend and then feel, bad and guilty about that. Then that's kind of like crossing the line and not aligning with what I'm talking about. But it's things that make you feel good in the moment that aren't too far gone to make you feel bad, if that makes sense. We need to find this balance in life. Life is supposed to be lived and enjoyed, and that is what I'm wanting to kind of encourage with this challenge. But what this challenge is doing is it is helping us vibrate higher. But more importantly, I think, is that we are telling the universe that we are deserving of good things. We are deserving of time. We are deserving of feeling powerful. We are deserving of feeling wealthy. We are deserving of having fun. We are deserving of feeling a deep sense of relaxation. So whatever it is that you are allowing yourself to do 3 times in one day, whether it's giving you that relaxation or the feeling of, spoiling yourself with this dress that you've wanted for 2 months and you buy it, that is something for you. Or, you want to go to this music festival with friends, you did it for you, it was so fun. Whatever it is for you, wherever you are at, there's no wrong or right. As long as you're doing 3 things for you that feel good, you are saying, I deserve this. Universe, I deserve this. I feel good about this. I am taking it in. I am enjoying it. And more, please. more exciting things, more relaxation-y things, relaxation things, So let's honor ourselves, because everything stems from self-worth. When we are doing things for us and we are feeling that sense of pride. Wow, I'm really getting my words mixed up today. But when we're feeling, deserving, we are literally telling the universe that we are deserving of our manifestations. And as I mentioned at the start, what this challenge is going to do for 30 days, honoring yourself and doing 3 things a day that you deserve and want, you are raising your vibration. You are, living through what you deserve, and you're knowing your worth. And the result of that is going to be really good, cool, fun, relaxing, exciting things coming into your life that match the vibration that you have now lifted yourself to. The consistency of doing this over 30 days is going to add up. These things might feel small, but it is going to add up, and it is going to help your manifestations materialize so easily. You won't have to directly try so hard to visualize, journal, meditate about it. You won't have to be thinking about surrendering constantly to let it go, because you're going to be vibrating at a high level. That vibration will kind of take over and do the hard work for you. So the challenge is the challenge in itself, but I want to challenge you also this month, the month of July, from the 1st to, how many days is in July? 30 days has September, April, June, and November. So 31 days. 31 days. You are letting your manifestations go. It's time to allow the universe, your angels, your higher powers to work it out for you, while you, for the next 31 days, live and enjoy this life that you have been given by doing 3 things a day that lift you up and make you feel good and make you feel worthy and deserving. If you get to the end of the day, for example, and you've only done 2 things, right? And you think, I'm just so tired, I just want to go to bed. That could be your 3rd thing, allowing yourself just to go to bed guilt-free and have a longer sleep because you were so tired. What about if you get to the end of the day and you've done nothing? Well, then the next day I want you to do 6 things, and I want you to keep a tally. If the next day you only get to 5 things, then the next day after that you'll be taking that 1 and doing 4 things. Then if you do the 4, you'll be back to the 3 a day, if that makes sense. Honor yourself enough to do this, and talk to a friend who is a Pass Around the Smile community member as well. Or if you don't have a friend that loves Pass Around the Smile, well, tell your friends about Pass Around the Smile, obviously. But, post in the community group. We're all here. We're all doing it. Let's make a commitment to ourselves and then experience really exciting shifts as a result without even really trying. Oh, and make sure that you write them down every single day, whether it's in your journal or on your phone. Make sure you're writing them down. Okay, one more thing before we get into the juiciness of this judgment and jealousy episode is I have had a few messages from my community asking if I'm doing an end of financial year sale, and the answer is no. I don't do sales often at Pass Around the Smile. When I do, they are big and exciting, but I just don't do them often. And something that I am personally working on, which I will share with you guys because that's what Pass Around the Smile is all about, is really knowing my worth and my product's worth. Each deck of cards that I create take a year to create. They are just filled with so much of my love and my energy, and also my beautiful illustrators' love and energy. They really do take so long to create, and they are something that can be used over and over and over again. And I just know the power of these cards. I know the magical energy in these cards, and my journals and my crystals and all of that as well, my online courses as well, which is why while it's I guess it's quite tempting to do a sale, because while I'm on maternity leave, I'm not working. It would be great to make more money, but Pass Around the Smile has never been about making money. It's about helping others find their path of positivity, to get in touch with themselves, with their higher powers, to start their spiritual and self-development journey. That's what really lifts me up. In saying all of that, in acknowledging that I really do believe that my products aren't worthy of having sales all the time, it has been a really hard year for so many small businesses, mine included. So what I'm deciding to do instead just for, my Pass Around the Smile community listeners, this will not be going on my Instagram or my Facebook publicly. I will only talk about this code on my podcast or in my broadcast channel or my Facebook community. I'm going to give you guys a 15% off code. I'm going to leave it up for a while. I don't know when I'll take it off, but I'll let you know when I will. It's going to be Community Love in capitals, and it's going to give you 15% off your entire order. The only thing that it won't work for is the bundles because they're already discounted, and it will be available for purchases over $65. So that is my thank you to you guys. I think it's kind of like a good balance of me still knowing and protecting Pass Around the Smile's worth, knowing that, I'm not just like putting a sale out there to everyone, but this is like a thank you to you guys for being so involved and so loving as my community members. I also am just so passionate about sharing my cards around the world, and not just my cards, my journals as well, and of course my courses, but my cards, I'm just so obsessed with them. I am so obsessed with them, and they like change my life on the daily, not to be dramatic. I just want so many more people around the world to experience them. And if an extra 15% off helps, then great, amazing. All right, well, let's get into it. That code is Community Love in capitals. So judgment and jealousy, as I mentioned before, it is something that we have all felt in the past, and I think it's really powerful to acknowledge that you have felt it and to admit that you are human and we feel these feelings and it's normal and it's okay. While it can feel really yucky, we can spin it in a way that is realistic, I believe. So when we're judging others or we're feeling jealous, it definitely is a reflection of what we are lacking within ourselves. It's a direct reflection of what we desire or what we are self-conscious about or what we don't have yet. And feeling jealous or judging other people, it really gets us nowhere. Actually, it does get us somewhere. It sends us backwards. It lowers our energetic state, leaving us vibrating at a really low level. By judging others, we project negative energy out. And not only does this block our manifestations from materializing, but it simply just makes us not a very nice human to be around. And you might think, yeah, but I'm only judging in my head. No one knows that I'm actually judging this person. Energy doesn't care. Energy flows and grows and moves and attracts. Energy attracts other energies sitting on the same frequency. So whether you are speaking these thoughts aloud or not, by judging others, you are doing yourself and those around you a huge disservice. Judging yourself really is the same as well. I don't know about you, but I will find myself judging myself on things that are just so harsh and so unnecessary. Like back when I was acting, for example, if I didn't get a role, I would go straight to judgment mode, to self-judgment mode. I would pick myself apart thinking I didn't get that role because I'm not funny enough, I'm not pretty enough, I didn't learn my lines well enough. And then that would stem into I should have given myself more time to learn them. I'm so stupid, I'm so silly, like getting really critical on myself. This kind of self-judgment brings us so low energetically. Sometimes it can feel productive, picking yourself apart so that you can grow and make changes and be better, but there are gentle ways of doing this. In my case, let's say, for example, it would have been things like, this is to be more gentle, I didn't get that role, but that's okay because it obviously wasn't right for me. It has nothing to do with my abilities as an actor or my looks. And even though I messed up that line a little bit, I spent hours learning and practicing, and that was enough. However, I am feeling down about it. So next time I'm going to make some changes by meditating straight after the audition. I am going to try and let go of the result, and I'm going to see the audition as fun. And I'm going to treat myself for doing something challenging afterwards. So can you see how you can still reflect in a way that is gentle and not so critical of yourself? Judging yourself is such a waste of time. And that last bit I actually got from my friend Melina. When I first met her, she's an actor as well. She said, every time I do an audition or a self-tape, I will treat myself after to, it might be, I think she was talking like food-wise, like she'd always go and grab herself something yummy to eat afterwards. But it could be anything. You treat yourself to a massage or, whatever. And I loved that so, so much because she was like, I deserve something really good after doing something that was really challenging, that made me feel nervous, that I worked on for, weeks learning my lines and studying the character, and I'm going to treat myself after. I really liked that. So that's kind of where I got that from. And I've actually taken that into other areas of my life when I do something that is like, really scary or big. Like I know when I started my podcast, I said to Luke, let's go out to dinner and celebrate because this is deserving of celebration. This is deserving of like recognition of myself being like, I did this, like good work. So jealousy, again, it's a normal part of human behavior to feel jealous. I don't think we need to aim to eradicate it completely because I think it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. However, I do think there is a difference between feeling jealous and letting it dictate your happiness versus feeling jealous and letting it go. And what we can aim to do is recognize when the jealousy is coming on and instead use it for inspiration. Not copying this person, not trying to be somebody that you are not, but looking at the actual reason as to why we are jealous in the first place. I feel like we often get trapped in feeling jealous about things that actually really don't matter in the scheme of things, like followers on social media or the girl that has the nice handbag or the cool car. Maybe you are jealous of that small business that seems to just be pumping out orders. But I think what we need to do in this instance is we need to look at it deeper. Are you jealous of the followers or the handbag, the car or the orders? Or are you jealous of the feeling that person would get when driving the car or receiving the orders? Do you see where I'm going here? This way we can turn it around. I would think instead of wanting that car, you're probably craving financial freedom or the proud feeling that you would get after having a day with lots of orders in your small business. Maybe you want to feel powerful or influential on social media with more followers. You don't necessarily crave or just want the followers for followers' sake. You want to feel powerful and influential. So look deeper. What are you actually craving? What are you actually wanting? Why are you feeling jealous of these certain people? Or this certain business or this certain thing that someone has. So really start looking at the feelings you are jealous of rather than the tangible things. Because I bet when the time does come and you get these things, it won't complete you how you think it will. You'll get it and it will feel good and it will feel exciting, and then you'll create a new goal as we do, and you'll start feeling jealous over different things and you'll get in that vicious cycle. So think of it like, are you actually jealous or do you just want that thing because it makes someone else happy? And that's another point I want to make. Just because something else makes someone else happy doesn't mean that it's for you. Doesn't mean that that thing or that circumstance will make you happy as well. Just because you see something making someone else happy doesn't mean it's going to complete you like it completes them or like you view it completing them. It might not complete them at all. It might not even make them happy, but they might tell you that it makes them happy, or they might promote on social media that it makes them happy. But they could be fabricating, and you're telling this story in your head that this person is so happy because they've got this thing and I don't have it, so I'm not happy. I'll give some examples. So recently I found myself getting a little bit jealous over my mum friends who are on maternity leave, like full-on maternity leave from their jobs, where they're not working at all and they can put all their love and their time and their energy into solely being a mum. However, when I would have a week where I was solely a mum, I would then find myself craving being at work and opening my laptop, thinking up new products, planning new events. So I was actually feeling jealous over something that I didn't actually want. Just because it is right for other people doesn't necessarily mean that it is right for me. However, I was wasting energy thinking that I should be on complete maternity leave and I should be giving 24/7 of my time and energy and love to Indigo. And I think a bit of mum guilt comes into that as well, because when I do take time away from her, I miss her so much, and my energy is, more importantly spent with her. Of course it is, because she is my world. She's my number one priority. But for me personally, I need to share my energy and my love a little bit with my work, because that lifts me up as well. And if you are a mum who is solely a mum and that lifts you up and that completes you, then amazing. And I am, even saying that, I am still a little bit jealous, I'll admit it. But we are all different. And I think I am jealous of the idea of something that is not actually right for me. So really looking at what you are jealous of. Are you jealous of the idea of it? Because that idea of it is going to be different in your life. Say that idea that, makes someone else happy, all of a sudden that idea is your reality and you don't actually like it because you haven't tried it, or it might not be for you. I hope this is making sense. So how are you judging yourself? Are you critical of yourself? Do you feel as though you never achieve enough? Do you feel as though you are not enough? Let's say, for example, you have a bad relationship with your body at the moment. Chances are you'll have negative feelings toward those who love and celebrate their bodies. Those who eat well and move their body frequently. Chances are you'll probably feel jealous of them, or chances are you'll probably judge them, even if you don't mean to, even if you don't wish them bad things or anything like that. You're human, so you might judge them because you are lacking in that yourself. What about another example? If you feel you have low self-worth, I'm sure you probably find yourself judging those who hop on social media and promote themselves unapologetically. Because if you have low self-worth, you wouldn't be able to do that. What about if you're struggling creatively? You might find you're judging or feeling jealous of others' creations that they are selling or putting up photos of, or maybe you start critiquing how you would have done it better. However, are you even trying at all? That's the question. Or maybe you're single and wanting a relationship. I have seen the difference in someone who is single and genuinely happy for those around them versus those who are single and resent their family or friends for being in happy relationships. There is a difference. So really looking at how you feel and then how, as a result, you are projecting your energy outwards. And don't think, like I mentioned before, that just if you are keeping these thoughts within yourself, or even say in your close friend circle, I only told my best friend I was jealous, or that I hated the way that this person does this or that. Energy doesn't lie. Energy feels everything. So don't think that you can say, do, or think these things and they just pass you by, and you can say your gratitudes and then all of a sudden be full of gratitude and good energy. It doesn't really work like that. Something that I like to remind myself when I'm feeling jealous or when I'm judging other people is that there is more than enough to go around. I know I've said this before a million times on the podcast, but there is unlimited possibilities awaiting us all. It's all just energy. Everything is made up of energy. The universe has unlimited possibilities. It is just about what we align to, what we match energetically, that will be brought to us. It doesn't matter if someone else has something. It doesn't mean that they have then taken that something and you can't have it, or you can't have a version of it, or you can't have something better than that thing either. But really check in on why you want this thing that you are jealous of or that you are judging other people about. And you might be thinking, oh no, I don't want that thing that I'm judging that person about. I really don't like that about them. Or I see this person doing this thing or not doing this thing and I'm judging them because it's wrong. But there's more to that as well. There's more to that judgment. So really, I would do some journaling on that. Who are you judging? Why are you judging them? What don't you like about what they are doing? And then direct it right back to your life and how you're feeling. Do you do similar things actually? Maybe it's something similar but in a different field. Maybe you think a certain thing but don't say it out loud like this other person does. So really just forgiving yourself and being kind to yourself as you unravel these things about yourself. But knowing that these shifts are huge, like when you are acknowledging these things, or when you are self-reflecting enough to admit that maybe sometimes you are wrong, or maybe sometimes you have cruel thoughts, you are human, it's okay. But the acknowledgement is huge. Like seriously, well done if you are doing that. And you're listening to this episode, so you're obviously open to it. Or maybe you're judging me right now. Maybe you're judging the things that I am saying. And again, that's okay. I mean, I'm putting myself out here on a podcast for people to listen to. It's bloody scary, I'll tell you that. And I judge myself all the time. But if you're judging me, then maybe, check back on why. What am I doing or saying that isn't in alignment with who you are? Or am I doing or saying something that is evoking a certain emotion out of you because you want something that I have or that I do? That's another thing I like to remind myself of is people, you might just think that you're jealous of other people, right? But I can guarantee you there are so many people who are jealous of what you have, who are envious over something in your life. You might be jealous of someone's relationship, for example, right? But that same friend might be jealous of your financial status. Or that same friend might be jealous of, the way that you're single and free. And maybe deep down they're not in a good relationship. You just never know. But we get in our heads and we create these stories and we spiral because we're human. And if you're like me, you're an overthinker. So yeah, that's kind of, a few little examples. Another thing that you want to make sure that you are not doing is just because society says that, you are successful if you do this, or you are in a happy marriage if you do that, or you are healthy if you do this. It's not just because society says that, it doesn't mean that you should strive for it or want it. Do you want it genuinely, or are you feeling jealous over someone that's doing that thing because society says that it's right or that it's accepted? We really can turn that jealousy, that judgment, that envy into inspiration. When you are feeling like, no, you know what, I've self-reflected and I actually really do want what that person has. I do want a job like theirs, or I do want a body like theirs, or whatever it is that you are comparing yourself to or that you want, then seek inspiration instead of jealousy. So what are they doing that you could be doing that makes you feel better about yourself? Like, use them as inspiration. Just because they have it doesn't mean that you can't as well. Remembering that there is more than enough to go around. So instead of feeling into that low vibration of jealousy and envy, feel into the high vibration of inspiration from this person, motivation, gratitude that they are showing you the way. It's exciting. I take inspiration from so many people. And again, I'm not saying that you have to go copy, but you can take so much inspiration from so many people that are on television, on social media, your friends, your family, someone that you know at work, your grandma, your dog. Your dog might be relaxed and chill all the time, and you might need to relax and chill a little bit more. I'm obviously being a little bit weird here, but you know what I mean. We can take inspiration from everything and anyone. Now, I want to finish by getting really, really real here, really deep. So when we're feeling really down in the dumps, when we're feeling super low, like we are super unhappy with where we are, we're expressing judgment about others to friends or family, we're gossiping, because it can give us that temporary feeling of power, or that temporary feeling of like, I'm right, they're wrong. It can give us that feeling, I guess, of entitlement when we're gossiping or when we're judging and we're bringing others into our thoughts and almost trying to get them on our page about someone else or something else. We've all been there. Let's be real. And I think, this is like, I'm on a podcast and I'm saying I've absolutely judged, I've absolutely gossiped about people. Who hasn't? And if you're saying, I have never thought or said a bad word about anyone or anything, I don't know, maybe you're a fairy. Maybe you are, I don't know. But let's be real. It's really easy to fall into the trap of gossiping or judging with other people about other people to pull them down to make ourselves feel better. And I'm sure you've been on both ends of it. I have personally. It feels yucky when you're doing it, and it feels yucky when you are the receiver of it as well. There is no good in judging or gossiping. I think there is a difference between venting. I think when something happens to you and you're upset or feeling hard done by, or you just really need to have a vent to someone that you trust, I really do believe that that is important, to let it go and to have that support, but it's different than judging and gossiping. So when we are in this state, right, we're feeling super low, we're projecting this negativity onto another person, whether we know them or they're maybe a colleague, like an acquaintance, or someone we don't know completely, we just follow them on social media, it is not going to take anything away from them, like your negative energy toward them. And again, being very vulnerable here, but when we're feeling super low and super unhappy with ourselves, misery loves company. And that feeling of feeling so awful yourself, you almost want to bring other people down with you so they can feel and understand how you're feeling as well. But the feelings that you are expelling toward them, it's not going to bring them down. It's not going to change their success or their happiness. It's just going to change yours. And if you are feeling low, if you are feeling awful, the only direct effect that that is going to have is on the people that you love the most. Now, I know intentionally none of my Pass Around the Smile community would judge and feel that jealousy of wanting other people to fall or to fail. But it really is true that, like I said, misery loves company. It's like it's a natural thing, and we've all probably been there before. And I think there is so much power in acknowledging that you have been there before, or in the future when it comes up, going, this is what I'm trying to do. It's not going to make me feel better. I actually don't want this person to fall or fail. I just recognize that I'm unhappy in this area. And again, we judge or we get jealous of people thriving in certain areas, but you've got to remember that there are people that are jealous of you thriving in different areas too. Like, life is always going to be up and down. This kind of comes into the law of rhythm again, where we can be up, say in our financials, but we can be down in our love life, or we can be here, there, and everywhere always. But the law of rhythm will take us up and down and in and out. And it's getting used to that flow of life. There are a couple of quotes that I like. One is, those who are busy discussing your life are probably not happy with theirs. And the other one is actually a lyric from a Fundamental song that I always like when I hear the song. And it says, I think it is a quote, actually, like an old school quote, but with different names. But it says, when Billy has a bitch about Susie to Millie, it says more about Billy than Susie, which is so true. So I want to leave us with that, and I want us to remember that when we are having we're having a down day, and let's say that we are having a bitch or a gossip or, a judgy moment about other people, how is it a reflection on where you're at the moment? And it is most likely saying more about you than this other person. I know that when confrontation happens, or when there's falling outs, things like that, you might want to get so many people on your side to prove that you were right, or so that you have that support. But really, it's just not helping anyone. And I mean, this isn't really an episode on confrontation. Confrontation is something that I'm absolutely terrible at. So I don't think that I could talk on that topic anyway. But yeah, really look at where this is all coming from you. It's all about you. And yeah, I think we'll end that episode there. A big reminder of our challenge, our manifestation challenge, which isn't actually a direct manifestation challenge, which is why I'm so excited about it, because I'm so excited to see what happens, the shifts and the things that you guys manifest without directly trying to manifest. And I think this will also have us learning a lot about surrendering, about letting go and focusing on things that make us feel good instead of focusing on what we don't have and trying to make it our reality. We're focusing on things that we have control over, that raise our vibration, and then the result is really cool things manifesting. And I think because we're surrendering and we're not focusing on it, you might be actually receiving things that you didn't expect, and that is so exciting. And not only is that exciting in the moment that you might get a surprise or something really cool, it's also the universe trying to have a say in your life and direct you to your right path, direct you to the next big thing. So let's not forget about that. I'm personally going to start on the 1st of July and do it for 31 days for the month of July, 3 times a day. And if, I don't get to 3 things a day, and again, they can be big and small, relevant to you. Do not compare with what anyone else is writing in the community or anything like that. You are going to do it right for you. And remember that code, again, I'm only saying it on my podcast and in my community and broadcast channel. I won't be putting it on social media, but that discount code, now I've forgotten it. No, community love in capital letters will get you 15% off your whole entire order. It will not include bundles though, because they're already discounted, and it will be for orders over $65. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Wow. Thank you so much for listening to another episode. If you liked it, there's a little Q&A thing that you can do on Spotify. You can let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any ideas for podcasts upcoming. And yeah, I'll chat to you guys in my Facebook community or in my broadcast channel on Instagram. I'll put the link to that below as well. Actually, no, I won't, because it's just my Instagram profile that you can get to it by. I don't think it actually has a link. You guys are amazing. Bye.